Do you have a favorite plant? Or maybe it's one of those plants that you don't see that often, and when you come around the corner in the prairie or in someone's garden, you go, oh, there's such and such. Yeah, I have one of those plants, and it's this plant here right in front of me. Hi, I'm the Iowa Prairie Girl. It is August 2023. I am at Wilkinson Park in North Iowa, Saragota County, and I'm going to talk to you about this plant here in front of me. This is called Sneezeweed. And Sneezeweed is a cool plant. I think it's very unique. To me, it's one of those plants that if you were a clown and you needed a flower on your lapel, this would be the plant you would use. It's got such a unique petals to it, and it's just all a plant all by itself. Sneezeweed, like I said, it is August. It blooms in later summer. It's a great plant for butterflies and bees and hummingbirds for food in the late summer. It likes wet feet. You're going to find it in marshes, along streams or rivers, maybe a wet meadow or a sedge meadow or a swamp. And it grows to be about 4 to 6 feet tall. So if you'd like to learn more about Sneezeweed, stick around. Let's start by looking at the flower first. So this is a composite plant. A composite is a flower that has two different flowers together. So you have the center there, or the globe, or the sphere, that has 200 to 400 different little disc flowers, all right there in the center. And then you have the ray petals, which are what most of us would just consider regular petals, and those are flowers in and of themselves as well. And those ray petals, as you can see, are kind of triangular in shape, with the tip going down towards the center or the globe, and then they're toothed on top, and so they have like 3 separate points right there on the top. So that's pretty kind of a unique flower. Sneezeweed is unlike other flowers in the prairie. And so there's about 10 to 20 different ray flowers going around that sphere. In the back, you have brackets that are real slender and kind of separate, and so that's different, as unique as well. So there's the flower. It does have a nice fragrance to it. It has heavy pollen, and so even though it's called sneezeweed, it is not a plant in the fall that causes your allergies to flare up. That's ragweed. Sneezeweed and goldenrod both get a bad rap for allergies, but this has a heavy waxy pollen that does not go out in the wind like ragweed, and so it doesn't affect the pollen count in the fall. The whole plant kind of gets kind of droopy as it grows. Not only, I forgot to mention the ray petals, they kind of droop away from the center disc flower, and then the plant itself just gets kind of droopy as it grows. The leaves are alternate of each other, meaning that they grow every other on the stem, and they don't really have a petiole or a leaf stem. They just kind of grow right off the main stem. The main stem is what they call winged, meaning that it appears like the leaves kind of come up off the stem and then just protrude off of it. And so the stem itself kind of looks almost squared because it has these projectile parts of the leaves that are growing up it, giving it the appearance of that it has these wings. The leaves are soft, and the stem is soft. So does this plant make you sneeze? Well, it will if you crush it up and make it into a snuff and use it to make yourself sneeze. And that's what early Americans or early settlers would use this plant for. They would make it into a snuff, and then it was used to clear congestion, clear your sinuses, used for head colds. And it was also, it did make you sneeze, and it was used for the very purpose of making you sneeze. And yep, you got it. It was used to sneeze out evil spirits in your head. So it does make you sneeze, although you have to purposely put it in your nose to be called sneezeweed. It does, like I said, have heavy pollen. It doesn't make you sneeze just by walking by it. It is poisonous. You do not want to eat sneezeweed, and it does have a sap that might cause some people to have an allergic skin reaction to it. It's poisonous to cattle. Farmers try to keep it out of their pastures. Cows, horses, sheep. It is also called staggerweed, meaning that it will make the animal stagger if they eat too much of it, and is actually fatal to livestock. It's also deer resistant, meaning that if you do have it in your garden, the deer are going to leave it alone. Isn't that wonderful or amazing how wild animals know which plants to avoid? Other names for this plant, we have common sneezeweed, sneezewort, wort meaning just another name for a plant, swamp sunflower. So it is kind of looks like a sunflower. It is a DYC in the fall. DYC is a damn yellow composite. That means it's and it attracts bees, or attracts bugs. It's a DYC is one of those yellow flowers that's hard to identify, although this one is quite unique. But it is in the aster family, and so it's also in the sunflower family. Dogtooth daisy, and that would go back to the tooth part of the ray flower. So dogtooth daisy is another name for this plant. Staggerwort, meaning that it makes your cattle stagger. And then bitterweed. It will make milk, cow's milk, bitter tasting if the cow eats some of this sneezeweed. It also, if you have honeybees, it will taint the taste of honey as well to a bitter taste. So it's not a plant that you want to have around if you are having beehives. One last name for this plant is Helen's flower, and that has to do with Helen of Troy. There is a legend saying that when she cried, her tears fell to the ground, and this flower sprung up. So this is floppy. This floppy plant, like I said, grows late in the summer. It's a great plant to have around in the prairie or in your garden because we have insects and bees and hummingbirds that still need food late in the summer. So this one provides a lot of nectar and pollen. And like I said, that pollen is heavy. It's not going out into the air, and the insects and the butterflies and the hummingbirds are able to get that food for themselves, especially those hummingbirds. Here we are, it's end of August, we're going into September. This plant starts to bloom in August through October, and so it's around for those hummingbirds as they start to get ready for their flight across the Gulf of Mexico. Thanks for watching my video on sneezeweed. I failed to mention that a plant can have up to 100 flowers on it. It's just a very abundant, I got bees everywhere on me, getting stung. It has just a lot of flowers on it, so it's just a very brilliant plant to have in the prairie or in your flower garden. It does have a nice fragrance to it as well, and it just gives that pop of yellow that you need sometimes. So thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channels. And as always, I hope that you get a chance to get out and see some sneezeweed right now. It's a great plant to see. And I hope that you see something wonderful while you're out there. This is Iowa Prairie Girl. Thanks for watching.